A motion to approve the purchase of a new Rosenbauer pumper with Rosenbauer Commander chassis for a total not to exceed $762,216 under the Sourcewell bid contract pursuant to section 107.01E2 of the Orange Village Codified Ordinances. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. I don't even know, Mr. Duber. Chief Wilson, do you want to talk about it? Can you come up to the mic? Mess with Hannah? Yeah.
You're like a mercat. I just saw your head come up over the computer. So we're looking to replace our engine 5 with a new engine. The engine 5 that we have now is a 2003. We typically keep a vehicle about 20 years. So by the time we actually receive this one, it'll be upwards of 23 years. As you can see in the truck build, we did get 3 different bids from different companies. The prices are all over the board. In fact, that top one, 4 years to build it, and the price can change even if we sign the contract. So they were definitely out. We ended up going with Rosenbauer. That's who we have now, which is our new engine 4. And the price is $762,216. If we pay the chassis off when the chassis comes in, we would save about $14,000. And Dana has made appropriations in the budget for us to pay that off early, so we would actually save about $14,000 off of that price.
Awesome.
Now my question.
Now your question's appropriate.
In the Appendix C, where it lists, because it lists change windows and that there could be price increases, are we locked into this? Because I know it says the no price change, so
Yes.
contractually they cannot increase the price?
It won't increase the price unless we make a change in the third period, which we will not make a change in the third period. We will have all our changes made before, probably, it'll be, basically be made after the first visit there. Typically, we don't ever change anything once it's set.
Okay, thank you.
They're way more expensive now than they were when we got our last one,
So
right?
I can tell you, the last engine we bought from the same company was $464,000, and it's gone up, he told me, on average of, since COVID, 12% a year. So the exact engine we have sitting there now would be about $735. Now, we did add a couple different things to this one because of technology, but yeah, the price of fire engines and the lead time to get them has gone up crazy since COVID.
You go the last one or something?
4?
4 years ago?
Wow. That's a lot.
Ordered it 4 years.
We
4 years ago.
received it 4 years ago?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Time flies.
Yeah, all right. Any other questions? No? Thank you, Chief. Anna, please call roll.
Duber. Silver.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Vincent.
Yes.
Kurland.
Yes. Okay, audience comments related to agenda items only. Are there any audience comments? No. Okay. Old business of pending legislation and motions. Ordinance 2023-16, an ordinance enacting the Orange Place South Planned Development District, regulations and rezoning certain parcels of land to the OPS-PPDD, amending the village zoning map and map designations, submitting the proposed zoning changes to the voters of Orange Village and declaring an emergency. This is the second reading. And it has been recommended by Planning and Zoning Commission, and the planning hearing is to be set for December 6th, 2023 at 7:45.
There are a lot of things that still need to be discussed regarding this. Under the charter, you're required to have a second reading after the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning. So you've received the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission. They recommended it as is. There have been several issues that have come up since the Planning and Zoning, and you have a couple of options. You could remand the legislation back to Planning and Zoning for them to consider some of the changes that are being requested both by Judge and by Bob Bialis and recommended by Bob McLaughlin.
Bob Bialis passed away. Sorry, go ahead. So anyway, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Too many Bobs involved. So my recommendation would be to have this matter remanded to the Planning and Zoning Commission and put it on the next available agenda, which would be
Next Tuesday.
A week from today. Oh,
Well, except that meeting was canceled. So it have to,
we could have a meeting of the administration and Gary.
well, does the, oh, it'd have to come back here before the public hearing?
What would happen is if changes were agreed to by the administration and the applicant, it would come back here with a recommendation to pass.
Would we then need 2 more readings?
No.
But based on such a significant change in zoning, wouldn't it make sense to add another reading after it comes back with all the changes?
well, the changes aren't very substantive. There are a couple things, so I think that could be done. Can't we do it Wednesday morning or whatever? And then, if we wanted to have the third reading next week?
No, you have to have notice for 20 days for a public hearing before you adopt the ordinance. All of the procedures leading up to that are flexible in terms of how we get from here to there. And it's really just a matter of preference. Do you want to send it back to the Planning and Zoning Commission? And they'd be 3 weeks from yesterday. I don't know what that,
The planning would meet December 5th, so it would be before the public hearing. It would be just before the public hearing. And assuming that, as I said, I think the alterations, as you mentioned, all the alterations that are being requested are not overwhelmingly challenging, that they couldn't be resolved in that meeting with planning.
there's also a meeting on the 21st
Right.
that I don't think has been canceled. So I think that's what we should shoot for.
Okay.
If it's a remand. Does anybody have an objection to that?
No, but what does that do? I know we've got a March referendum date.
As long as you get it to the Board of Elections by, I think it's December 16th, we're good. We're in line to have the public hearing on December 6th.
So there is a meeting for planning commission on the 21st?
That's the regularly scheduled date of that meeting.
Okay, then that would work,
All right,
wouldn't it?
yeah.
So if
I'm
there's
good
no
with that.
objection, the council president can declare that this will be remanded.
I'm declaring that this is being remanded back to planning and zoning.
We'll have Gary's proposed changes and Bob McLaughlin's proposed changes and Judd's proposed changes.
Good enough, thank you.
Yeah, we're still saying that
We're
the,
on target, we're on track. This is just a way of managing some changes that have come up since the recommendation was made. So you have a positive recommendation for the legislation. There have been some additional comments, there have been some issues raised that we'll readdress at the Planning and Zoning Commission, and then it'll be in order for council to consider it after a public hearing on December.
takeaway is the public hearing is still on December 6th.
But then we can decide within one reading when it comes back to us, correct?
Yes, you would not be required to. You'd have there's another council meeting in December if you couldn't reach agreement on it on the 6th. Yes, it would be in order for you to adopt it at a single meeting.
Moving on. New business and consideration of an ordinance 2023-18. This is an ordinance repealing Chapter 149 reward funds of the codified ordinances of Orange Village. This is the first reading.
This is something that Dana discovered while we were going through the significantly longer ordinance dealing, the next one up, 19. We don't have a reward fund in operation. This was something that went into effect after the 80s. It has never been used, and so Dana's recommending, and I agree, that we dispose of a government program that's never been operated.
what a reward fund is.
What were we getting rewarded for?
The tip for a crime, there was going to be some money available, and I suspect there were donations taken back in the 80s. This predates my dad's time, so I don't, I did not do the historical research. It's not been used since it was
It's just been a line item fund that's been sitting out there?
a piece of legislation that's on our books in the codified ordinances.
Oh, but there's no money in it.
There's no money in it, and there is no fund created for such purpose. So if it ever existed, it was taken out even before I started here. So.
B, ordinance 2023-19, an ordinance amending certain sections of Chapter 147, Employees Generally, of the codified ordinances of Orange Village and declaring an emergency, first reading.
This is a attempt to mirror what the union contract has done for the police department. This gives many of the same benefits. There are also some general cleanup things, like now it's Voya Financial. And we're just cleaning up our ordinance to reflect that. We are clarifying things that are in the book to comport with what the union contract says and with what the practice has been. So this just clarifies in language that the administration is comfortable with now, how the various vacation terms and conditions will be applied. Jury duty, you can see if there's half a day left, you have to come back. If you go to jury duty, there's the addition of a holiday, Juneteenth, in 2024. Holidays, information that had been in the fire department's chapter of the code is being moved over to 147 because that's the chapter of the code that the finance department works out of. It's not good to have all of these things in different areas of the chapter. So this is a cleanup of that. Look at it, it's not very dramatic, it's not very exciting, but it does clean up some things that the department has been struggling with for some time, and also matches up what the non-union employees get relative to the union employees.
I have two quick questions. I think they're quick. Under the holiday, I know Juneteenth is mentioned on page 5, under 147.14, but it's not mentioned under D. Is it supposed to be the same for both the fire department and village employees?
The fire department gets additional pay on certain dates. It was not the intention, as I understand it, to have an additional holiday.
That was my first question. And then under 147.16, it says effective January 1, 2013. Is that in a,
Yes, you have to go back in time. I think that's a typo.
page 6, 147.16?
Oh, I'm sorry. That is accurate. That's what the
So
ordinance currently states.
It started then and it just continues now. Okay. Thank you.
Questions on that? No? Okay. Ordinance 2023-20, an ordinance amending certain sections of Chapter 776 Earned Income Tax of the codified ordinances of Orange Village and declaring an emergency. First reading?
Yeah, this is coming from the Ohio legislature. They put out, they made changes in the last state budget that under the Ohio Constitution, they can regulate municipalities' authority to tax, how we do it. We got the sample language from the Regional Income Tax Agency, and this ordinance will implement those changes as recommended by RITA. Recommend that it pass by the end of the year. You don't have to do it tonight or next week even.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance 2023-21, an ordinance providing compensation and benefits for village employees, repealing certain ordinances and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Is what we call the comprehensive compensation ordinance. Again, an effort to have everything in one place. This format that you're seeing with Exhibit A, we've had such great success on our appropriation ordinances with Exhibit A's that we're adding them into the employees' compensation section. If we ever make changes, having this Exhibit A modified will make everything easier so that payroll people have all of their numbers in one place. And one thing I would point out is that if there's something that gets changed every few years as part of a police contract, such as longevity and health insurance contributions, we're going to put that over here and just reference in the codified ordinances that you check the comprehensive compensation ordinance. So this is a restructuring of the way finance is going to be able to deal with employee compensation. It's a companion to the codified ordinance changes in 19.
3-6, a resolution requesting the fiscal officer to advance taxes in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code and declaring an emergency. I will make a motion for the passage of Resolution 2023-6. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Perry. Mrs. Cavender, do you want to come up and tell us about it?
The advanced tax legislation is a housekeeping. You do it every year, and it allows us to collect or receive from the county our real property taxes throughout the collection process instead of waiting until the end when they close collections and get a bulk sum. So it just allows us to get our money sooner throughout the year.
Awesome, thank you. Any questions, anyone? No?
Like a good idea.
Duber,
Yes.
Silver. Harry. Yes. Bilski. Klein,
Yes.
Vincent. Yes. Kurland.
Yes. Okay, are there any audience comments related to matters which advance the good of the village? Present, so I will speak. I want to remind everyone that Shop with the Cop 2023 has started. The Orange Village Police Department partners with other local police departments on the annual Shop with a Cop holiday program. Officers take local children in need of a shopping spree, followed by a pizza party. The program is funded entirely through a raffle and donations. This year, raffle features the following. Grand prize, 50-inch color TV. Second prize, Apple iPad. And the third prize is $100 cash. The raffle tickets are $1 each, or 6 for $5, and are available Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4 at the Village Hall. You can also make a monetary donation by cash or check by visiting Orange Village Hall or mailing a check. So it's a great program, and I hope everyone watching will take advantage of buying some raffle tickets and helping that program out.
We bought mine.
And the only other thing I want to say is there seems like there might be a election coming up next week. Yeah, feels that way. I do want to remind my fellow council members that this is not the appropriate time to do any campaigning. And I do want to ask everybody to come out and vote. No matter where you live, go out and vote next week. Thank you. Mr. Duber?
My only comments, Chief, Mr. Police Department was fantastic on Halloween. Great. Appreciate everything that they did. Thank you. Good luck to everybody running. And, yeah, not doing this again. No, I'm just kidding. Serve my time. But, no, it's great. Everybody's running, and good luck to everybody. Wish you all the best. And, sorry, I missed last one. That's it. Next.
Mr. Silver?
Yeah, echo Brandon's comments about Halloween. It was pretty busy last night in Orangewood. I think the busiest night we've had in since before COVID, certainly. And there was constant police presence, so well done there. First time it ever snowed on Halloween, I think, as well.
Snowed on Halloween before.
town next week, so good luck to everybody in the election, everyone that is running. The Orange for the Holidays is in the home stretch. This is a rough copy. We have, I believe, 35 coupons in here this year. Print pretty soon, Anna, correct? The next couple days or so.
Next couple of hours.
Okay. Anna, thank you for all your help, again, as usual. And thanks to Jesse, too, at Pinecrest for coordinating everything.
Good, Mr. Silver? That's good. Okay, sorry. Mrs. Vincent? I'm sorry. Well, yeah, let's do it. Mrs. Vincent?
Really? Wow. I'll defer to Lisa if she wants to go first.
Go ahead, I want to see.
Okay. Well, a huge thank you as well to our police and fire department staffs for their wonderful work patrolling the streets, not only during trick or treating, but also during trunk or treat. It was so great to have the Orange Village represented there. Thousands of people went through it, so it was just really a great night last night as well as at that event as well. A huge shout out also to all of the Orange Village residents who participated in both events. Gratitude once again to Bob Zugan for jumping in to help with the AT&T blackout a week or two ago. On behalf of all affected, at least in Orange Hill, thank you for the miracles. Somehow you seem to work. We say it there, it comes out there, and things get taken care of, so thank you. I also want to thank Anna for all her work on Orange for the Holidays. And I really want to encourage people when they get these, use them, keep them handy, keep them nearby. There are phenomenal coupons in here, and once again, Pinecrest is gracious enough to donate shopping sprees as part of a raffle coupon, so look for those, use them, get money, shop. The school board meets next Monday evening. Information from the last meeting has already been well reported, so I will just share a huge congratulations and thank you to the PTA and community. Together, they raised more than $36,000 in the combined inclusive preschool, elementary, and middle school walkathon. It was a fabulous event, beautiful weather, and lots of money helped to fund programs in the Orange schools. So thanks to all involved for that. If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, check out the OHS production of Peter and the Starcatcher at the high school, 7 p.m. tomorrow night, Friday, and Saturday, with a 2 p.m. matinee on Saturday as well. Tickets can be purchased online or at the door. I got to have a little preview of the show, took some pictures, so if you want to check it out, it is very family friendly. And it's the precursor to how Peter Pan came to be. So go see it, check it out, and support our students. 2 reminders, fall back this weekend. Don't forget to turn your clocks back. Everybody enjoy the extra hour of sleep. And I'll add that your vote matters because your voice matters. I hope to see a huge turnout at the polls next Tuesday. Thank you to all who have already voted, either absentee or in person downtown.
Mr. Klein?
Thank you. Planning Commission met recently since the last council meeting. 2 major items on the agenda: a new house approved on Brainerd, and obviously the work that has been done for the Vitalia part of the Pinecrest, the Orange Place South Plan Development District. I want to thank all of the members of the team who worked diligently in creating the zoning code for this development. I appreciate all the work that everybody put in their diligence. I'm looking forward to wrapping it up and moving the project forward so that the public can be engaged in it. Again, kudos to our police and fire departments for their work over Halloween. It was a great event. I had visits from several of our police officers and shared candy with them. They enjoyed it. And the kids enjoyed the music from the police cars, helping to entertain the evening. So thank you again. And I'll reiterate what everybody else has said. Come out and vote. It's important. It's your opportunity to show your support for the community and be involved in local community politics. Thank you.
And state politics. Mrs. Perry?
Finance is meeting at 6:30 next week, and we are looking at the budget for the first time. We'll have the budget in our hands before that meeting. I have it now? Oh, I didn't look today. Thank you. So everybody come prepared. If you have any questions you want to talk to Dana about beforehand, she's available. And we can have another
Awesome, thank you. Mr. Bilski?
Can I thank the police one more time? No, really. It was Orangewood was very, very busy last night, and it was very nice to see all you guys out and about. So thank you. Felt good because my 2-year-old was not easy to find, so felt safer. But no, nothing else beyond that, and I'll also maybe add, get out and vote. So.
You know what, just because everyone's mentioning Halloween, I want to say that in my neighborhood, there were a huge amount of teenagers, and I'm saying this in a very positive way. It was wonderful to see a lot of older teens actually dressed up and participating, and they were polite, and it was really fun. It was great.
I saw that as well. It was nice to see that.
There's so many worse things they could be doing. Like, please,
true.
yes, trick or treat. Oh, use your imagination. All right. We will now, I will make a motion to adjourn to an executive session for the purpose of discussing employee compensation. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Vincent. Anna, please call roll.
Duber. Yes. Silver.
Yes.
Harry. Bilski.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Vincent. Yes. Kurland.
Yes, and we'll just be ending at the end. You don't have to stick around. Ending at the end.
You won't be taking any action.
We won't be taking any action after the executive session. Thank you.